Well, I hope I didn't leave you in suspense for too long. We were talking about the return now of the groom for his bride. He finally gets permission from his father. You can go now and get your bride. But you couldn't go in broad daylight. You couldn't go even in the evening. You had to go at night. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, it was considered to be very romantic. You know, you would come like a thief in the night and you would steal your bride away. And these are terms that we're familiar with, aren't we, in the New Testament? But we never really applied them to the groom-bride relationship. So I finally get permission, I go out at night, and I get all my groomsmen, all my buddies, and we run down to the village where the woman lives. Now remember, she has no idea that I'm coming. She's had no warning. She couldn't check her Facebook or Twitter account. There was no way to know. How would she know that I was coming for her? She didn't. She just always had to be ready. And I never really understood the parable of the 10 virgins until I understood the wedding analogy. You see, because I would come down with my friends 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would bring this puppy with me, my shofar. I'm not going to blow it for you here because we'll blow the speakers in this place. But if you blow the shofar in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, in the dead of night 2,000 years ago, I'm telling you, everybody in the village would hear. And what would happen is I would sound the trumpet. You know what would happen? Every woman who was betrothed in the village would have to wake up because they didn't know which groom was blowing the trumpet. You know, there was no identicall. There was no way to know who it was going to be. Every potential bride who was engaged had to get up. And in order to get up, you had to have oil in your lamp. You would light that lamp. You would get dressed. You would come out and you would meet your groom. But what if you didn't have oil in your lamp? Remember the others came and they said, let us have some of yours. And they said, no, no way. And I thought, wow, that's very un-Christian-like not to share the oil. Having the oil in the lamp meant that they were faithful. They didn't sell the oil for money. They didn't say, you know what? When he comes, I'll find out somehow. I'm not going to worry about it. No, they were faithful. And because they were faithful, they went out to meet their grooms. You see, in fact, when the groom came, if there was no oil in the lamp, if the bride wasn't ready, he had the right of refusal. He could leave her behind and call off the wedding. But let's be that faithful bride. Let's have the oil in our lamps. We hear the sound of the trumpet. We go out, we look, and we see him. And when our eyes would catch, they would open up the gates of the city. He would come in to meet me. I would grab onto the arm, and together we'd go back to the Father's house. I mean, can it sound any more biblical? Look at what Paul says here in 1 Thessalonians, and keep in mind what I just told you about the gathering ritual. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call, the shofar of God, and the dead in Christ will rise, and after that we who are still alive will be what? Caught up together to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will be with the Lord forever, and therefore encourage each other with these words. Can I encourage you with these words to be ready for his return? Let's not get lazy. Let's not get sidetracked. Let's not think, oh, you know what? There'll be a sign. I'll find out somehow. It'll get leaked on the internet. We'll know when he's coming. The best way to be ready is, guess what? To be ready. Don't sell the oil. Stay faithful. Keep your eye focused on him, and let us be ready when he returns. I'm Joe Amaral.